Have you ever looked at your paycheck and thought,
This can't be the only way money can come into my life?
because for a lot of women, that thought shows up in the quiet moments. It's right after another long day at work, right after checking the balance on your bank account, right after realizing the full weight of your life relies on one stream of income. And what's crazy is most women don't even notice how stressful of a situation they're in until something forces them to. Something like a layoff, a company restructure, burnout, a bad boss, a health issue, a season where your life starts demanding more flexibility than your job is willing to give. And suddenly, everything you thought was stable doesn't feel so stable anymore. That's why this conversation matters. Because the fastest way to create another stream of income usually isn't learning something brand new. It's monetizing what you already know. And by the end of this video, I want you to look at your skills in a completely different way. I want you to see how the thing you've been overlooking might be the very thing that creates more options, more freedom, and more safety in your life. So stay with me, because I'm also going to explain why coaching has become one of the fastest paths for women to build a second stream of income without the need for a huge audience, another degree, or years of preparation. Okay, let's get into it. Somewhere along the way, a whole lot of women were taught that income only comes from credentials. We were taught that the big money lives in certifications, degrees, job titles, promotions, and corporate approval, right? So when you start thinking about building additional streams of income, you immediately assume you need to go learn something completely new. And that's where women lose years, because you're stagnant in research mode, consumption mode, or preparation mode. Meanwhile, you already have skills people would gladly pay a premium for. And that is the disconnect. The average woman has spent years solving problems, managing chaos, organizing people, leading teams, navigating transition, and helping others get results. You've been communicating, planning, teaching, supporting, strategizing, mentoring, coordinating, fixing, and translating confusion into clarity. And all of that has value. The problem is women have traditionally only been taught to see those skills inside the context of employment, not ownership. And there's a big difference between
I do this at work
and
this skill can generate income.
your skills aren't just tied to your job. They're tied to outcomes. And those outcomes are monetizable. That's why I need women to stop thinking,
What business should I start?
and start asking,
What problems do I already know how to solve?
That's a completely different conversation, and it carries a different energy, and it yields a completely different result, because the fastest path to your next stream of income is usually closest to the skills that you naturally use. In real talk, this matters now more than ever, because one paycheck is starting to feel unsafe for a lot of women, even the high earners, especially the high earners, because more money without additional streams of income to go with it, it doesn't create safety. It just creates a more expensive dependency. And that's the conversation people don't like to have. Having a six-figure salary can still come with financial anxiety when one company controls all of your income. One email should never have the power to disrupt your entire life. One meeting should never determine whether or not your bills get paid. One employer should never hold all the financial leverage over your life, your family, your future, or your legacy. That's why multiple streams of income aren't just about wealth anymore. They're about stability. They're about options, breathing room, and knowing your life doesn't completely collapse if one thing changes. And I bet for a lot of women watching this, that's the deeper thing you're craving. Not just more money, but you want more peace, more control, more flexibility, and more ownership over your time and your future. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most women assume building another stream of income has to be complicated. They picture inventory, warehouses, huge startup costs, complicated funnels, or needing thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. But one of the fastest paths to monetization right now is coaching. And before you click off thinking,
Nick, I'm not a coach.
stay with me for a second, because most women have a very outdated understanding of what coaching really is. Coaching isn't standing on a stage pretending your life is perfect. Coaching is helping people move from confusion to clarity using skills, experiences, frameworks, perspective, support, or the guidance you already have. So So if you help people get an outcome, improve a result, make better decisions, organize their thinking, shift their habits, create structure, or solve a problem, you're already coaching. You just haven't packaged it yet. And that right there is the part women miss. Monetization is often packaging, not reinvention. That's a completely different lens to look at this through, because some of the women watching this have spent years helping coworkers stay organized, helping friends navigate career changes, helping people budget, helping people communicate better, helping people get healthier, helping people get disciplined, helping people start businesses, helping people become more confident. Y'all have been doing all this and have never once stopped to consider that what you're doing literally every day could become income. Why? Because sadly, you've normalized your gift. The things that come naturally to you often feel ordinary to you. But the thing about it is that ordinary to you can be life-changing to someone else. Now, let me take a beat here and get specific with you, because vague inspiration isn't the move. What you need right now is a way to look at your own skills and know, not hope, know whether or not you can monetize them. So here's a simple filter I call PAID. P-A-I-D. And if your skills checks even 2 of these 4 boxes, you have the foundation of a monetizable offer. P is for problem. Does your skill solve a specific recurring problem for people? Not a vague problem, a real one. The kind where someone is actively frustrated, stuck, or losing time and money because they don't know what you know how to do. If people in your life repeatedly come to you for the same type of help, that's a problem your skill solves. A is for awareness gap. Do you have something that the people around you don't? I'm not talking about rocket science, just a gap, a shortcut, a way of seeing something that took you years to figure out, but would save someone else months. That gap is your offer. I is for impact. Has your skill already created a measurable result for yourself or for someone else? A promotion, a process that saved time, a decision that saved money, a conversation that changed a trajectory? Results are receipts, and receipts build trust. D is for demand. Have people ever asked for your help, your opinion, your process, or your advice in this area, even in a casual setting? Because casual requests are unpriced consulting. Every time someone says,
"Wait, how did you do that?"
or
"Can you help me with this?"
that's demand without a price tag on it yet. Now listen, I want to get you paid. If your skills solve a problem, closes an awareness gap, have created impact, and people are already signaling demand, you're not starting from zero. You're starting from proof, because people will pay for proximity to clarity. They'll pay for support, for structure, for speed. They'll pay to avoid mistakes. They'll pay someone who can help them shorten the learning curve. And one thing I've noticed in all my years of doing this is that women tend to underestimate the economic value of what they know. They'll think,
"Well, everybody knows this."
but that's not it. Everybody around you knows this, and that's different. You've heard it before. Birds of a feather flock together, so your environment can totally distort your perception of value. And this is why so many women stay underpaid for years. They've been trained to overvalue their credentials and undervalue their lived expertise. Meanwhile, somebody out here on the internet with less experience, less depth, and less wisdom than you is packaging what they know, and they're getting paid. Here's the thing. Confidence sells faster than perfection. So the women waiting to feel ready usually stay stuck the longest. If any of this feels familiar, if you're starting to realize you might already have skills people will pay for, I want you to drop the word income in the comments. I put together a free training where I break down how skills-based income streams work. I deep dive into why coaching has become such a powerful second stream of income for women. I'll teach you what most women get wrong when they try to start, and you'll learn why structure matters so much more than credentials or the size of your audience. Too many women are overcomplicating this before they even start. And the women who move fastest are usually the ones who simplify this thing. So drop income below below and I'll get you the link. Now let me share a perspective that might challenge the way you've been thinking about all this. A lot of women are trying to build businesses from scratch when they should be building businesses from experience. See, that completely changes the speed. When you build from experience, you already understand the problem. You understand the language, the emotions, the frustrations, and the transformation people want. And that creates resonance. And resonance is what converts. That's why some women can post one simple video and clients show up. It's not because they're the smartest person online. It's because they make people feel understood. And if you've ever watched someone online and thought,
how did they know exactly what I was feeling?
That's what strong positioning does. It makes people feel seen. And women are really craving that right now, especially women who feel trapped between success and fulfillment. I'm talking about the women who look accomplished on paper but still feel financially vulnerable. Women who are exhausted from carrying every single thing in their life. Women who know they're capable of more but can't clearly see the pathway yet. Listen, this conversation is so much bigger than coaching. It's about reclaiming possibility. It's about realizing your life experience has value outside of your 9 to 5. It's about understanding that your skills can become your leverage, and leverage changes everything for you. Women also think monetizing their skills means becoming a completely different person online. Like you need to become louder, more polished, more extroverted, or more salesy. But the strongest brands right now feel human because they're clear, specific, grounded, and relatable. More and more, women are connecting to honesty, lived experience, and clarity, especially now. You don't have to become internet famous to create meaningful income online. A small audience with a clear problem can outperform a huge audience with vague messaging every single time. Strategy matters more than visibility in this. Structure matters more than motivation, because without structure, most women end up doing too much. Y'all be out here randomly posting, creating random offers, and trying to be everywhere, burning yourselves out before momentum even gets started. And that's another reason coaching works so well, because it's simple to start. You have low overhead, it's skill-based, it's fast to validate, and it's deeply connected to transformation, which means you can build your business around the skills you already have. And that's the part people underestimate most. You're probably closer to starting your coaching business than you think. Where you're standing right now and your first paid offer is often a shorter distance than it feels. Let me tell you something about fear, because it loves exaggeration. Fear will convince you that this has to take years. Fear will convince you that you're behind. Fear will convince you that everybody else has something special you don't. Meanwhile, someone with less experience is moving faster than you simply because they decided to package what they knew and start. Momentum matters more than mastery in the beginning. And the clarity you're searching for usually shows up through movement, not overthinking. So if you don't take anything else from this video, I want you to take this. Your job might pay you, but your skills can free you. Jobs create income, skills create leverage, and leverage creates options. That's why your 9 to 5 was never meant to be your only plan. One income stream puts way too much pressure on one source, one company, one outcome, and one version of stability. And in this economy, women need options. You don't need panic or hustle culture or burnout. You need options. You need the option to leave, the option to pivot, the option to breathe, the option to build wealth on your terms, the options to create income that belongs to you. Because once you start seeing your experience as inventory and your skills as leverage, you stop looking at your life the same way. Your skills aren't just helping your employer anymore. They can help build your future. And if you're ready to turn what you already know into an offer that generates income without overcomplicating the process or spending months stuck in planning mode, that's exactly why I created 2K in 2 hours. This micro course is specifically for women who know they have something valuable but haven't figured out how to package it yet. Inside 2K in 2 hours, I walk you through how to to take what you already know and turn it into a clear offer people are willing to pay for. This isn't theory. This is not a 12-step framework. This is a straightforward path from your skills to your first paid offer. You can get started by visiting my website at herincomeedit.com/2K, or you can click the link down in the description. And if you're new here, my name is Nick Scott, and I help women turn their skills into coaching income, digital products, and online businesses. If this video has your wheels spinning, I want you to go watch this one next. It goes even deeper into how women overlook the profitable skills they use every single day without realizing it. Because once you learn how to look at your skills differently, you stop seeing yourself as dependent on one paycheck, and you start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of creating income on demand. Okay? I'll see you there.